1979. At the docks of Jeniol Dynamics, the city of Groton, a submarine was launched in the presence of officials, which became a milestone in the history of the fleet. The largest submarine built in America is a 170-meter nuclear steel monster with a displacement of 18,000 tons, equipped with an arsenal capable of destroying an entire country. USS Ohio is the first of 18 flagships to form the backbone of the US nuclear triad. Ships whose characteristics are considered outstanding even now, 40 years after their appearance. 1960s. It has become the era of the height of the space race between the USSR and the USA. We all know about the mighty rockets of that time and the pioneers they carried nests about. However, this race was not only in a peaceful direction, but also in a military one. The advent of intercontinental ballistic missiles has shifted the balance of power, and US dominance has proven moot. Soviet missiles could hit airfields. US dominance proved to be a moot point. Soviet missiles could hit airfields and missile bases before they could react. Looking for a way to solve this problem, the Pentagon initiated a massive research effort. The program, called StratEx, was supposed to be the beginning of the modernization of the entire US nuclear triad. Land, sea and aviation. The result of the study was 9 key promising concepts, 5 of which concerned ground-based military systems. 1 was aviation and 4 marine. One of the maritime concepts involved the creation of large nuclear submarines that are on long-term duty at sea and have missiles, the range of which will allow use from almost anywhere in the world. The implementation of this concept consisted of 2 parts, ballistic missiles and submarines. Work on the first point was launched in the early 70s. The new missile was supposed to have a large combat load and range. The main boat was laid down in 1976 and named after the state of Ohio. Also, in the end, the whole new class of these boats was named. It was originally planned that the Navy would receive 10 ships of this class. But in the process of building the first of them, ambitions grew. In 1981, when the boat entered service, the fleet expanded the order to 15 units with a plan to expand it even further. And a few years later, in just the period from 81 to 97, Jeniol Dynamics transferred 18 Ohio-class submarines to the fleet. When creating boats, engineers faced a lot of difficult tasks, among which was a combination of large sizes, low noise power, survivability and equipment. And this is taking into account the acceptable economy and operation. The budget is not endless. Even the Pentagon, Ohio, 3rd generation boat. According to its characteristics, it is a record for the US Navy. 170-meter ship with a displacement of about 18,750 tons. Introduced a little later by Soviet submarines, Sharks were monsters with a displacement of 48,000 tons. True, despite not having a record size, Ohio definitely got a record arsenal when the boat is equipped with 24 ballistic missile silos. Even the giant Shark only had 20 shafts. Of course, this is primarily the merit of the missiles themselves. Much more compact in comparison with Soviet missiles. The first group of 8 boats, put into service before the 86th year, was with Trident 164 base missiles. With a launch weight of 33 tons, they had a range of 7,400 kilometers and could be equipped with 8 100-kiloton warheads. W-76. Starting from the 9th boat, more advanced missiles began to be installed in the mines, the Trident 2D5 range of which increased to 12,000 kilometers. And the combat load could already include up to 8 475 kilotons of their W-88 warheads or up to 14,100 kilotons of W-76. Missiles can be launched at 20-second intervals, from a depth of 30 meters at low speed, and with a wave of up to 6 points. In theory, all 24 missiles can be launched in the shortest possible time with one volley. although in practice such operations have never been performed. And technically, it's not so easy, and it's expensive to use 24 pieces at once. Of course, the submarine has torpedo weapons. 4 vehicles loaded with Mk-48 torpedoes act as classic weapons here. The boat has a hybrid hull design. The main solid body, inside which the crew is located and almost all systems are completed. Made of durable steel and reinforced with ring frames for the entire length of the ship. On the upper part of the strong hull, there is a permeable light hull, which, like a roof, closes the missile silos, due to the fact that the second light hull covers only the upper part. The boat is considered a single hull or hybrid. This design reduces the resulting hydrodynamic noise. A high and narrow wheelhouse with horizontal rudders and wings is located closer to the bow in front of the compartment with missile silos. The main hydrodynamic rudders are a fore or across in the stern. Horizontal are equipped with large vertical modules. The maximum diving depth of the boat reaches 240 meters nuclear submarine. The power plant is based on a single General Electric C8G reactor with a capacity of 240 megawatts. It provides energy to 2 turbines, each with a capacity of 35,000 horsepower, connected, in turn, to a propeller, an 8-meter propeller. The design and features of the propeller. Until now, the United States has considered classified information. Plus, there are several additional power plants and generators on board to back up and maintain the systems. This gives the boat a cruising speed of up to 25 knots. A special innovation of the new generation was low noise, a seriously redesigned power plant, and the introduction of several operating modes made the boat incredibly quiet. Moreover, this parameter is considered outstanding among them even now. And at the time of the start of operation, it was completely incredible. Up to the point that during exercises in the early 80s, the equipment then available often simply could not detect get a boat. The boat itself is equipped with a very serious set of radio electronic and hydroacoustic equipment. The basis of the acoustic station is a 4.5-meter antenna with 5,000 hydrophones. In addition to it, there are a huge number of passive and active elements on board, plus automatic information processing. Later, as part of the modernization, the radio station was replaced by the latest models. The boats can generate hydrographic charts and exchange data with other ships in the fleet. The main patrol regions are the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. To support 18 submarines, 2 naval bases on the Pacific coast were specially adapted. Not far from Seattle, there is a base there. Boats start and end patrols there, although sometimes they can make intermediate stops at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, on the Atlantic coast. In southeast Georgia, there is another base. Each base has all the equipment for servicing boats at all stages, as well as the infrastructure for training and maintaining crews and personnel. The crew of the boat consists of 150 people, and 2 crews called Blue and Gold are assigned at once. According to various estimates, the region usually patrols the sea from 200 to 200 nautical miles, form maps and monitor the situation in the controlled zone. This service can be called quite calm. But sometimes there are funny moments too. One such happened in 2009, when a small fishing boat was wrecked in the Caribbean. Boat's 5 people turned out to be far from all routes. And after 4 days of drifting on the high seas, when hope was already lost, the crew of the submarine noticed her. Like this, on a boat, accidentally run into a nuclear missile carrier in the middle of the ocean. Ironically, the collapse of the USSR became a problem for the US nuclear submarine fleet. These ships had no one else to fight with. The ideas of the late 80s to build 24 boats were discarded. Plus, new treaties on the reduction of strategic offensive weapons were supposed to limit the grouping of nuclear missile carriers to 14. At the same time, in fact, an analysis of the potential showed that only 4 were really needed for nuclear deterrence. And this is taking into account the fact that the first 8 boats were equipped with already obsolete missiles. Under the threat of write-off, it was decided to seriously work with them. 4 out of 8 boats have been upgraded and received up-to-date modern missiles. 4 more boats were waiting for more extensive work. They were converted into cruise missile carriers for operations that did not involve a nuclear apocalypse. Of the 24 mines, 22 were installed with 7 launchers. As a result, the ship received 154 Tomahawk missiles or similar means. 2 more mines were adapted for equipment and means of conducting special operations. Considering that now they were not considered nuclear carriers, the limit of 14 units was not violated. At the same time, the efficiency and relatively low cost of operation made Ohio the main element of the US nuclear triad. At the moment, these 14 boats account for about 2,100 warheads, or about 60% of the entire deployed US nuclear arsenal. For 2021, the entire group of 18 submarines is still in service, although the first of them is over 40 years old. All of them are quite active, performing sea trips lasting up to 6 months. The Ohio-class boats are expected to begin decommissioning in 2029, with replacements already in preparation for Ohio's retirement. It will be replaced by a new strategic boat and the start of the next Columbia class. The history of American flagships continues.